What do you love? Your wife, or husband, your family, or friends, girlfriend, or boyfriend? Maybe you love your church or spiritual orientation or lack thereof. Of course you do. These are the things that bring you joy and happiness. But what if I told you all that you love is really a barrier that keeps you from true love? Join us and see if everything you are attached to and deem important is really keeping you in bondage. This is Who Am I? Who am I?
Who am I?
Who? Our purpose is to awaken.
Who am I?
To awaken to absolute truth.
Am I?
Who am I?
Who?
Who?
Our purpose is to awaken to absolute truth.
Absolute.
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 Absolute truth.
Our purpose is to awaken. Are they one and the same? Absolute and truth. That's our purpose.
Who am I?
Okay, in the last show, we were getting into some really good stuff, right? Trying to get, deep. Like they said, deep. Do you need boobs?
Wading in the water.
Waded in it. But, what we want to do, we want to keep peeling that onion back. We want to keep slicing it. Don't stop. Whatever, see, the human mind has to have a fixated point. It has to have somewhere to stand. It fixes on something, okay? And it says, stop here. And from there, your views, everything is taken in from that fixed point, okay? And this is where we're saying, don't stop anywhere, all right? Don't stop asking questions like Dr. Mays taught us at Morehouse, okay? Always keep going on, keep opening. A lot of people, John, you like to travel a lot. You want to keep exposing yourself to some new ideas, new thoughts, new whatever. Because where you are, you're confined in a box, okay? There is a confined area. Why do you want to limit yourself? Who told you that you were limited, all right? And why would you accept that, all right? Why do you allow yourself to be bound by something? And this is what we want to get into, all right? Because, see, if you have something that you are attached to, like your wallet, okay, or your cell phone, or your car, you go, oh, well, what do I do with my wallet? What do I do with my cell phone, or whatever? And you're now attached to it and are bound by it. The main thing that we're looking at, are you bound by your beliefs? Have you questioned every belief you have? And how do you know it's true? How do you know what you're saying is true? Now, Carol, you had a question last time, and we didn't get a chance to answer it. You want to stand up and ask that question again?
We talked, as God's identity being all. And then we have the seemingly human identity and personal identity. And the question is the human identity and the personal identity included in the all?
Good question. Okay, good question. All means, inclusive of. There can't be anything other than outside of all. Okay, otherwise it wouldn't be all. But Carol is saying this human or this person, in other words, Carol the human, Alan the human, Jesus the human, the son of Mary and Joseph, okay? Is that included within all? Well, you have to understand what human means, okay? See, we have said before in the show many times, to be a human, you have to know this, you have to know this, and you have to know this. Lack, loss, and limitation. Now, can all know anything about lack? Can all know anything about loss? If all loses something, then it's not all, okay? Can all know about limitation? See, this human who you think you are can't. Now, can all or God have something called a perfect idea? Okay? Because whatever all has must be perfect. Okay? Now, Carol isn't perfect. Or are you? No doubt, right? Alan isn't perfect. Right, Joe? Jesus is not perfect. Now, Christ is. All right? You got to get that. Christ means light. Okay? It's not a person. That's where people have to have, we have to have something called a person. I see Aviva or Archibald or whoever. Okay? And I say, these are people because I think I'm a person. A personal identity cannot, Carol, be included. But there can be a perfect idea called a body. Okay? There is a perfect idea if God wanted to create something, but he can't create. Okay? If God can do anything, it must occur in this. When I say God, I mean the infinite absolute, the all. I don't mean Jehovah or Jesus or Buddha or Allah or whatever. I'm saying, see, now and all are the same, ball. Okay? Can you get rid of, where is it not now? Can you get outside of now? Now a human thinks. And once a human thinks, he's outside of now. That's why this human identity cannot, this human called Carol. Okay? But that perfect idea, a perfect idea. Now, what's a perfect idea? Carol doesn't know. Alan doesn't know. Einstein didn't know. Okay, this little brain, I don't care if your IQ is 20 bazillion. Okay, you have 40 Nobel Prizes or whatever. You don't know what a perfect idea is. Okay? But only God can know. Okay, but we make up God because we project out our thoughts. Okay, and we create, all the planets in this solar system are named for Roman gods, and they created all these thoughts, and then they said they were gods. Well, why would you think that Apollo isn't a god, but you said Jehovah is, or Allah is, or Jesus is? How do you know that? How do you know that's true? Prove it. Well, you can't. Mm-hmm. You can't. It's a belief. Okay, keep it a belief.
You said, I think, therefore I am.
Descartes said.
Right. And you said that the devil was the thinking in this statement.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens, and this might shed some light on something that Miss Aviva said. She says everything is an illusion, nothing exists. What happens when the thinking disappears? Do we disappear? Does the illusion collapse?
Mm-hmm.
What happens?
What happens when you wake up? You were dreaming about Denzel. What happened to Denzel? Idris Elba. Okay. What happened to you and Idris Elba when you woke up? I mean, when you were in the dream, I know this sounds a little facetious, okay, but this is all this is a dream. This is not reality, okay? When you're dreaming, I don't care if you're dreaming about Idris Elba or Beyonce or whoever, or the monster, okay? When you're in that dream, it seems real to you. That seems to be time. That seems to be space. You seem to have 5 senses, okay? But when you wake up, poof, it's all gone. Now, was it ever there in reality? Okay? So what happens is, this is why you got to get to nothing. What is nothing? Okay, now that sounds inherently contradictory. Because here I'm saying nothing is a is. Okay? Which is inherently, kind of something. Okay? Kind of. Because the human mind has to have a concept, a thing. Okay, a thought. All right? But what, and this is what, but here, what is it when there's no thought? Okay, is that nothing? And that's what she's asking. Okay?
There's no brain activity.
Well, yeah, it's even beyond that, because we think, we have to have this body. Yeah. And we think that the mind is in the brain, in this pound and a half of flesh. Okay, that's what we think the mind is. That ain't it. Look, Here I go again. All right. Hello, Archibald and Bahia. All right. How you doing, Archibald and Bahia? Okay. Now, we all, now, I can't do a ventriloquist, but, a good ventriloquist can make you think that, the dummy is talking. Okay, he draws his voice, and, it looks like they even having a conversation. That dummy doesn't have a brain, doesn't have a mind. Well, that dummy is Alan, is Ball, is Lydia, is Jesus. Uh-oh. 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 Yeah, I'm in trouble now. But anybody who thinks, okay, because you're now under the spell of the mind, the bondage of this human thinking, and it's like you in that dream. You swear that when you are with Idris Elba, that you're thinking and talking and walking, and Idris is thinking and walking and talking. That's your experience. And you don't deny your experience. But we're asking, what is the experience, sir? Okay, is there any reality to the experience, sir? I'm going to have to move on. I'll come back to you, all right? Okay.
Okay. So, I think you just said something about we have to get back to nothing. So you have a question here that says, can you live without any attachments? Anything that you can be attached to has to be a something.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying then, if we got back to nothing, there would still be something, but there would not be objects.
Right.
There would be nothing that would be added or subtracted from, so to speak. So now that we're in this place of trying to figure out that really good question that Carol raised, I thought about the fact that the human identity and the personal identity are only questions to a mind that believes that it exists.
Mm-hmm.
So if the mind is going to exist, it has to have an attachment and an object to be attached to.
Exactly.
If you're going to include that with the all, that's an impossibility. They cannot coexist because the all itself is complete and whole. So it cannot be divided. The mind is a division and a meaning-making machine.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about trying to be complete with something that never existed.
Right.
The all is complete because all that there is. So there's no, there's no lack.
Mm-hmm. And see, here's the trick in it. The mind doesn't know that it doesn't exist. Okay?
Right.
Well, are you saying whatever's in the mind has no reality?
Right.
Yeah.
How do you know that?
Because this is true.
Right.
This is absolute.
That's what we define it as.
No.
Well, is there something called infinity?
Is there something called information, which we say is a part of
No.
all?
No. See, this is why you got to know what your premise is. You have to start off with absolute truth. Okay? What is it that you know that's absolutely true, that's unquestionable?
All is.
Right. Okay? And that's where you got to start with. But notice what you're going to do is because you think you can think, you're going to bring in this automatically. You got it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because you think you're Archibald.
Well, it doesn't make any difference. If all is and information is, whatever that people talk about information, but if it is, then it's a part of all.
It is.
It's a however we can describe what entails all, or what all entails. It would also entail information.
It will entail what it knows. Yeah. Did you want to respond?
But you say it knows.
Well,
You can't say it knows like humans know.
no, exactly.
Right.
My thoughts are not your thoughts, is the
Right.
way they put it in the Bible.
Right.
Did you want to say something?
Well, I just wanted to chime in because this is exactly what Dr. Carter's been doing for 8 years, is trying to add some clarity to life. We as minds are going to try to mess that up. And this is how we do it. By really,
But part of the problem
wait, go
is,
wait, wait,
go
Arch-
ahead, go
okay.
ahead. Part of the problem here is, since we don't really understand all,
Mhm.
then if we're going to say this is all is, then we're pushing one of our beliefs on all.
Well, yeah, in the sense that, whenever I talk, I'm talking a lie. All right? Yeah, I mean, we established that. You can't know. I don't care if you were Jesus, okay, or whoever. You can't know what infinity is.
No.
Okay? I mean, because you will have to be outside of infinity to know what infinity is. In other words, there's an object called infinity and you're the subject. And see, what you're talking about, Ball, is what is the subject, okay, that, because see, you as Ball or me as Alan or any human, well, as we were saying, has to have subject object. So what we're asking is, can there only be something called subject with no object, okay? And you can't go there. No, because your thinking has to have an object, okay?
But all, if all is, then we're going to say these bodies and all are not.
Well, we can say that all is perfect. Now, what is perfect?
That's okay. Well, yeah. that's
Okay.
another definition.
In other words, see, that's why you have to have your definitions.
Yeah.
What is perfect? And this is what Carol was asking. Okay, it's like, can perfection know something called lack? Can perfection know something called loss or limitation? Okay. Now Archibald knows of something called lack. You got enough money?
Well, I mean, you ain't got, you don't have an infinite lifespan either.
Right, exactly.
That's the biggie.
Yeah, because your body is always showing you lack.
Yeah.
All right, you go, I don't have air, I don't have food, I don't have sleep, or whatever. Okay, or you think, somebody died, your mama died, your daddy died, that kind of stuff. You have loss. Okay, but can that be a part of? And this is what Carol is asking. Can that be a part of the all? Okay, can all experience loss?
It doesn't have to experience it.
Right,
But
because it can't.
But the information, if information is a part of all, if it's all, then the information is there within all.
Yes.
So what is the information about the lack? Like, is it a good idea or a bad idea? It's a perfect idea.
It's perfect. But
It's
what's
perfect.
that?
Whatever it is.
Yeah, you don't know. So that's why the most you can.
But, the lack and loss and limitation and the fact that we humans are here also is a part of the perfect idea in all.
If you as a human are perfect. That's what I was saying to Carol. If there's such thing as a perfect human, okay, a perfect body, is there but see, you can have disease, cancer, ALS or whatever.
That's perfect.
Well, but then it's
But why can't the perfect include an imperfect body?
It's our imperfection. But
That
is
imperfection is
Yeah.
seen from the relative position of one of those imperfect things. But in the perfect, it's all perfect.
And then, it's kind of like, can light include darkness? See, darkness is an absence of light, okay? In other words, something that it isn't, okay? Can it all include something that it isn't? That's what you're asking. Yeah, by here.
Or is the question
Yeah.
that's posed by the statement of so-called Jesus, me and my Father are one?
Okay.
Can that exist? That
If-
level of oneness that was once, many, many centuries ago, celebrated and practiced on this planet.
Now you're bringing a time dimension. Can eternity include time? See, I think this is what Jesus was struggling with on the cross. I couldn't see where he died for my sins. Okay, because, see, the only sin is thinking that all isn't all. That's the only sin. Okay, that God stopped being infinite. So if there is something called I and the Father are one, see, that implies there's two. I, and the Father. But really, it's going back to that there's only one. See, for instance, every religion has a creation story. There was once a perfect state, and then something happened. That was in the Judean Christian tradition is that there was a fall from grace. Okay, like God stopped being infinite. Okay, and that's why all gods that you worship, Jehovah, Allah, they're not infinite, because then you couldn't worship it. Okay, so there is since there's only infinity. Okay, then this is where the human mind likes to sneak through the back door to kind of make sure that the human exists. My thoughts exist. Okay, but like you were asking before, what happens to your thought when there is no thought? What is no thought? Well, how would you know? How would you know what no thought is? Okay, well, I'll think about it.
Well, actually, my question was, does the illusion disappear when thought is not present?
Yes.
Okay, so really what you're talking about is a system of human beings in a very ingenious system that creates three brains, okay?
Three brains?
Yeah, the limbic, the reptilian, and the neocortex, places them in a human skull, has them function, quote, according to science, in a certain fashion in order to support the lie that the human being really does exist, and that there is an external authority that exists also that's greater than two of those brains that are inside of our heads.
Yeah, and again, like I was saying, Archibald, see, when you start with down here, that there's a human, me thinking, Alan thinking, I can come up with almost anything. Okay, I can come up with all kinds of philosophical systems. I can come up with all kinds of, I can come up with physical things. Okay, because they're just project. Look, everything is a thought. Even when you think, why is it that we call this solid and water not solid? You call it liquid. Well, I mean, you can say about the electrons going around the nucleus, the rate of the movement of the speed of in the atom. Okay, so but it's still mainly air and space. It's nothing mainly. Okay, this is mainly nothing. Okay, so when you look at it, you go, well, okay, I just can't. But you're always fighting for this human identity. No one wants to be God.
Thank you.
Okay? Because if I'm God, I got to give up Alan. And I ain't going to give up Alan. All right? I think, therefore I am. And this thought system, you think the Pope is going to give up being a Christian? No. Okay? Because that's his identity. And you are not going to give up your identity. You will fight for it. It's called the law of self-preservation. It's not just about the body. The cross doesn't represent Jesus giving up his body. The cross, if Jesus was a wise man, represented him giving up the idea that he was Jesus and that there was something called a no separation between him and the source. Or you can call it God or whatever you want it. Okay? And the human mind will not give up that separation because it's based on its identity is based on separation. I think I'm separate from Ruth Carter, my mother, even though I have a what you call this thing? Yeah, that connected me to Ruth Carter. I still think that I'm separate from my mother. I think I'm separate from you because I identify with a body, and I think I'm separate from God. But Jesus was realizing there was no separation. There's no out there. There's no here and a there. There's only what is here, and here is not a location. Because the human mind has to locate. I locate Archibald in a chair in a room in Atlanta, Georgia. And I say he's not in Mongolia. Because I locate Mongolia thousands of miles away from him. But that's the human thinking. Leonard, you had your hand up.
So briefly, all you're saying here is that, to get back to Archibald's beliefs about the all being a belief, everyone would say that Jesus said, I am the light, the truth, and the way. Something like that. So if I am is the starting point, and I am is not an object, after I am, there's no mention of anything, then all that's there has to be spaceless awareness. And if you add anything to it, that's impossible because there's no thought there. And you can't subtract anything from it because there's no thought there. So what is beyond belief is I am. And if you could sit with that, the human would start to just dissolve and, accept what's already here. Now, it's just I am.
Okay, good. Lydia.
Question. But is that I am the same as the I am thought? Because it seems like when there's an I am thought, after the I am thought arises, everything else follows.
Mm-hmm.
So if the I am thought subsides into no thought,
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Is that nothingness?
That's
No,
nothingness.
that's what
There's
this
no
is.
thing.
objective.
Yeah, no object. See, the human mind has to have, there's me and the world. There's me, I, and the world. And as Leonard was saying, anything I put out that I am, is blasphemy. It's heresy. It destroys God. If I say I'm a Christian, that's blasphemy. If I say I'm a black man, that's blasphemy. If I say I am running all the time, that's blasphemy. Well, in this illusion, that's the humor, because I think this dream is real. Okay, I think Alan Carter is real. And as long as I think Alan Carter is real, then I have denied God. I have denied the allness there is, because Alan Carter says that there is something called an objective world. Okay, that there are objects separate from him. So I know this can be, somewhat confusing, maybe even insulting to, offensive to some of you. That's not our purpose. But if you feel that, then you feel that, all right? But we are here to ask questions, to keep going deeper and deeper. And truth doesn't care whether or not you ask questions. Truth can't be destroyed. 2 + 2 is 4. You'll never destroy that. And if it's afraid of little Alan Carter or Archibald or whoever asking questions, then that ain't true, okay? So keep asking questions, keep open to the process, and maybe you will discover who and what I am. Thank you.